So when you go to Mecca, for sure you glorify Allah. Maybe not as what it should be, but you glorify Allah. What is the sign? Have you missed a salah in Mecca? If you don't go to the haram, what happens to you? Oh, in Mecca and I didn't go to the haram? True or false? How often you go to the masjid here? Did you get my point? There, for sure, alhamdulillah, you glorify Allah. So the first sign that you glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is your relationship with His orders. When He said it's Fajr time, what happens? When He said it's Maghrib time, when He say lower your gaze, when He say don't say this, when He say this, when He say forgive people, how do I respond? If to me, sami'na wa ata'na, I hear and I obey, that's a sign you have the glory, you glorify Allah. If I start saying if and but you don't know, you know how we are, then I need to work on this. Ta'zeemullah. So number one, look at your relationship, everyone today. Go home, alone, don't talk to people about this. This is between you and Allah only. And if you find good, ihmadillah, ihmadillah. If you find something good, alhamdulillah, praise Allah. And if it is not, I also say alhamdulillah. You know why? Because He taught me my shortcomings. That's a good news. Because if I know my shortcomings, I'm going to change. So look at your relationship with His orders. Number two, and this is all from the Quran, by the way. What happens to you, or what do you feel when the name of Allah is mentioned? The name of Allah is mentioned. What happens to us? Are we the one He described in Surah Al-Anfal? الَّذِينَ إِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهُ وَجِلَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. Are we from those who Allah described? If the name of Allah is mentioned, the name of Allah mentioned, وَجِلَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ, their heart trembles, shakes out of love and out of fear. وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُ, when the verses of Allah, meaning the Quran, is being recited to them, زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا, their iman will increase. Are we? Look at yourself in Ramadan and mine. What happens to us in Ramadan? Actually, Ramadan is the best test for our iman. It sometimes exposes things, good things in you, you don't know. What time is Maghrib next month? It's 2 months exactly. Tomorrow is 1st of Rajab, inshallah. What happens to us in Ramadan? How many hours we fast? 16, right? Anybody in this room other than medical don't fast? Not even a question. We don't even ask people, are you fasting? Because it's an insult, right? Don't you, most of you, do Taraweeh? I'm sure everybody, whether in the masjid or in the house. And Taraweeh is not easy, at least an hour, maybe 2, and you read the Quran. True or false? And everybody works, same. And you have a family, you do everything. What is the difference in Ramadan? If I tell you Monday, how many of us will be fasting? Don't show me hands. But for sure it's not the same as the Ramadan. What is the difference? Ramadan, we glorify Allah. We still have, it's Ramadan. And you always wonder, what is Ramadan? It's the month of Allah. So you glorify Allah, then you have the power, you have the energy. So the sign that you have the glory, you glorify Allah inside you, is see what's your relationship with His orders, with His prohibitions, and with His book, and with His dhikr. The more you remember Allah, when you love someone, young or old, children, spouses, what happens when you love someone? You always remember them. What happens if they don't text you in a day? Right? How many mothers get upset with their children because they don't answer their texts? We're not going to go there, right? But what is my, Allah, please forgive me, but what is my relationship with Allah? How many texts, and I'm just saying this for us to feel, how many texts I sent to Allah in a day? And how many texts I sent to my child or to the one I love? ما قدر الله حق قدره. We did not glorify Allah the way we should. And what should we do? Again, and again, and again. And I always say this, number one, turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask Him to give this to you, and to me, and to us. He is the only one who's going to give it to me. With all the means I gave you, with all the points, but He's going to move my heart. Shift it, Ya Allah. Shift it that you are number one in my life, that I know who you are, that I look around me and everything around me reminds me of you. And the more I glorify Allah, it's going to show. It's going to show on my character. And we always forget this. We always, when we talk about deen, we think about the external. You know, I fast, I pray, I put my hijab, I do this, I do that. But what about the relationship with the human beings? The more you glorify Allah, the more humble you are. لا تمشي في الأرض مرحا. Don't walk on this earth with a lot of arrogance. إنك لن تخرق الأرض ولن تبلغ الجبال طولا. You are not going to be able to walk all this earth or go inside the earth, and you're not going to get to the height of the mountains. Allah said it to Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, in Surah Al-Isra. So you will see, the more, this is the signs that you are close to Allah, you'll be way more humble. عباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا. The servants of Allah walk on this earth with gentleness, with humbleness. It's not like nobody else on other than me on this earth. So you'll be way more humble. You will be way more forgiving. And that's a huge problem we have these days. I'll never forgive her. I'll never forgive him. And every single day, you and I disobey Allah willingly, knowingly, and He forgives us. How can I not forgive people? So the more you are closer to Allah, glorify Allah, knows Allah, it will reflect on you as a human being, in your character, even in the way you dress. Everything is going to be around Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.